Welcome to another episode of Unsolicited Opinions podcast, where we bring you real, raw, and relevant content. I am one of your hosts, Ebony, and to my right we have
Brian Jayden.
And we have one of our special guests.
What's up? What's up? How are you?
What's your name?
My name is James Def Merritt.
Yes. So we're so happy to have you. I'm so glad. Like I said, you made time for us. I know you're busy. You got your Def clothing line. You're a DJ. You're a realtor.
Yeah.
You all them things.
A little
and you
bit
black.
of this.
And you black. So,
A little bit of something.
So we're very happy to have you. Now we just want to get to know you a little bit.
All right, cool.
So we want to start off by asking, how did you start DJing, and where are you from? Most important.
Okay, so I'm from Los Angeles, California. Nice. Grew up there. After my parents retired, we moved to Louisiana. So it's a little bit of a blend between the two. Louisiana has been home for me for a lot longer. After high school, went to Baton Rouge, went to Go Tigers. You already know what it is. Got to throw that in there, even though we're having a rough season right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's where the beginning of Def, I would say, started. The brand started.
Nice.
At that point.
Well, first, I want y'all to see this shirt. What is this hoodie? I need you to just turn to the camera a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It say, don't ever
accept failure.
I love it.
Time out. Does that count as an acronym?
Yes, it does.
Okay, that's a dope acronym. I just want to be right before I say some shit.
Def. DEAF.
I want to make sure.
He said, does it count as an acronym? Y'all,
It's definitely an acronym.
Yeah, listen, I want to make sure before I say it. Is it, I know it's an acronym, but I just want to make sure.
Okay,
but yeah, that's a dope acronym.
I got you. And so you came up with that while you were in Louisiana or while you were in California?
Nah, Louisiana. So a lot of my story is, in Louisiana, like especially whenever it comes to Def. And so Def started in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
That's where the beginning of DJ Def started. And then that's also where Don't Ever Accept Failure. It started as, just something I was saying to myself. And then it kind of turned into a brand and so on and so on. Okay,
so to be a DJ, right, you got to have a good ear for music. When did you know, I want to DJ?
I knew that I wanted. So, the funny thing is that I was always, a shy kid. I was outspoken, but I was shy. And when I went to Baton Rouge, and that was my way in to try and meet people. I always all around my people. I would let them speak, let them do their thing, but I was always the quiet one that was he's quiet, but it seems like I want to know what's going on with this dude.
Okay.
And so everybody was always talking, and then if you talk to me, you talk to me. So my way to try and get in with people is look, I know music, I know how to, I know a little bit about, everything, open format. So I was like, I'm gonna be a DJ. And that's meet the girls, get the free stuff, all of that stuff. So that's kind of where I went with it.
The women?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. I get that. So that's definitely motivation. So did you play any instruments or anything like that?
Saxophone. So I played the saxophone from 7th grade up until I was out of high school. And that was back whenever I was a 300-pound kid.
No way.
I'm serious.
Wow.
I got pictures to prove it too.
Shut up. Oh, that's amazing. Are you?
Damn.
That's amazing.
Think about it.
Damn.
So you took DJing, right? And you were like, this is something I could really rock with.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I know that you used to be the DJ for the Harlem Globetrotters. How was that? What was that experience like?
It's a crazy experience. It's a blessing. It's fortunate to be able to touch lives all over the world. That is just, I can't put it into words, and I can't ever expect anyone to understand it.
Yes.
But it's definitely a blessing that I didn't even see coming.
Okay.
So that was back in 2018, and when that all happened. But 2017 was the year that I moved to Dallas, and then I was going through a really, really tough breakup at the time, at the end of 2017. So I was suffering from, depression, broke, not really knowing what I was going to do, because I was like, look, I'm done with DJing.
Okay.
And then at the beginning of 2018, I was going through a lot of things, with spiritually, mentally, family-wise, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make peace with it all. So over the fall, I want to say right after my birthday, and I just went into like a different mode of like writing every day and you know, praying, you know, getting better with my faith, and just really making peace. My sister had passed the year before, so I made peace with that. So took a flight out to LA, went out there, and one of my homeboys, Sonny D, he told me, he's like, man, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to DJ, and I want to travel and DJ, and I want to do real estate.
Nice.
And he's like, how do you?
And you doing that?
Yeah. So.
And you doing that?
Yeah. So.
That's what I love to hear.
It was a blessing, man. So like when he told me that, and he said, how do you plan on doing that? And then like my phone rang, and I was like, look, I got to take this. And once I hung up, I said, if I have a phone, a laptop, and the internet, I'll be able to do it. And then 2 weeks later, went to Chicago, did a show out there. And then a few weeks later after that, in February, I got a call, then it changed everything.
Nice.
And it was the
That's
Globetrotters.
That's dope.
Damn.
So time up. Pause.
I had a question too, but
No,
I'm
you can
gonna
ask your
go.
question.
No,
It's just a
go
quick.
ahead.
You had you said you was going through a breakup.
Yeah.
I bet you read it now. Your question. Can go ahead.
So my question is we do a lot of mental health conversations on our podcast. You said that you found yourself going through the breakup and you were having the hardest time. How did you pull yourself out of that to be able to say, I'm going to continue? Because a lot of people give up. You know, they start being depressed. They don't want to do anything.
Facts.
How did you keep going?
You know, what's crazy about that, or I don't even think it's crazy. When I was going through that time, you know, my ex, she was, you know, getting more into the entertainment industry as far as what she was doing. She's a dancer, professional dancer, and, you know, one of the best I've ever seen.
Nice.
But I was alone. Like, I was alone in Dallas with me and my dog, right? So, and that was, you know, literally what got me through. He was like my best friend, and that was the only person I would kind of like have, you know, that would kind of, you know, I felt like he was getting me through, but I also had a really good, solid group of friends.
Okay.
And which is not many, like maybe 2 or 3.
Right.
And but you know, the thought of being trapped in an apartment, and you're surrounded by your belongings, your ex's belongings, and a dog, and that was it. And you just got to mentally prepare yourself. And that's where it kind of shifted. It's like, look, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to take care of my dog. I'm going to take care of my family. And I'm going to figure this out. So, I mean, every day wasn't, you know, it wasn't easy at all.
Yeah.
So, but
that's good, because I always see like that meme. It's like people don't understand like how strong you have to be to pull yourself out of something that you feel like should have taken over your life.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you were able to figure that out and pull that out.
Yeah.
Ryan brought up the women with the DJ. So let's get into
here
that.
we go.
What them groupie stories looking like? Because I
got a
already
group?
know.
You got a
They're crazy.
story?
I already
I
know.
got plenty of stories.
Okay, let's hear a story.
Which one?
Whatever
a good
one.
one.
Hey,
A
yeah,
good one.
whatever
Let's
one.
hear a good one. What's your okay? So you okay? Let's do this flashback. This is your first day on the job, right? You got your first game. You got it, and it's really the kids you hyping up, because the parents gonna go with whatever. So it's really the kids you hyping up. Do you get a lot of parents that like come at you?
I was nervous.
Okay.
Like, I was nervous at first, because like one thing about me and DJing, like, I'm not one to be on the microphone all night.
Okay.
I'm not
So
gonna
MC.
talk. I don't care about that. Like me, I've always believed, like, I'm not gonna make you, you know, do what you want to do by talking to you. I'm gonna just, you know, show through the expression of how I DJ, how the artistry of it. But it was a very uncomfortable situation for me, but I had already had an experience in radio.
Got it.
So I knew, like, all right, well, look, let me just act like I'm looking at everybody, but just focus on, like,
certain things.
you know,
in the
certain
room.
things in the room. But I guess a groupie story as far as that, man, like, I mean, you have the grandparents that will bring their kids or their grandchildren. You have the parents that are coming to look for a ball player. And then you got those that are
that's
also
interesting.
looking for, I mean, anybody can get it. But I mean, me, yeah, I'm tall, I'm black. I got a athletic build for some
Yeah.
people. So I kind of, you know, either way it went for me. So I guess one of the groupie stories that really stuck out, and I was talking to my boy Bull about this the other day, is that we were in Canada. It was my first time there, and like I had this girl that I was talking to all night. Like I was feeling myself. Like I had bought a couple of bottles, and I was like, yeah, like it's going down. Like I'm not tripping. And then my homeboy, another guy came in, another one of the ball players, and Animal, and I don't know if I can say that, but I ain't going back anyway, so I don't care. So he comes in, and this is Canada, so like they don't close at 2:00, so it's like 3-4 in the morning.
Okay.
Comes in 15 minutes before we getting ready to close, and he takes my girl.
Oh my God.
And I was like, man, you gotta be kidding me right now. So I got so like pissed off, right? And I told the bartender, I was like, look, give me another bottle. I was like, and she's like, it's 15 minutes. I'm like, I don't care what it says. Like, you want my money? You can give me
Hold on, so this is the girl that you trying to,
this is the girl that I was trying to hook up with. But it worked out because, he got his chick and I got the bartender.
Oh,
so,
wow. That's different. I wasn't expecting that. I thought she was going to be like, all right, I'm back over here now.
I got the bottle and I got the girl. And I got the bill, too.
The beauty and the booty. Like, I know that. Also, you're a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did you do DJing to realtor?
How did I do DJing to realtor? I think it's mindset, man. Like, it's people always ask. So, like, I'm not just licensed in Texas. I'm licensed in Louisiana, too.
Okay.
But you take that and, like, all right, I'm a DJ, right? That's the first and foremost. But I tried to do this whole Batman and Robin thing, like, oh, you got the DJ guy and then you got the suit and tie realtor guy. And at one point I was like, look, I don't even care. Like, this is who I am and this is what you're going to get. So you can either take it or leave it. So I just like, yeah, I'm a DJ. Like, and I do this and I do that. So I knew a lot of people just because of, as a DJ, like people, they start to recognize you. So as I started to transition, I would let people know, like, hey, like, I'm getting into real estate, but it didn't work out for me like I thought it would. So I had people that were like, look, I don't want to work with you just because, of what you're doing before.
That's crazy.
And I don't want to work with you because I feel like you don't know what you're doing.
You're not serious. Yeah,
they didn't think I was serious. So it hurt at first, but at the same time, I just had to, take it to the chin and was like, all right, I'm gonna show you better than I could tell you. So I was doing it in Louisiana, and then I got licensed again, which is what brought me over here to Dallas. And so I got licensed here. And so now I'm going back and forth. Now I'm, driving to Louisiana to show homes just to close out a deal. Wow. Or I'm, trying to build up a brand here in in Dallas. And, just trying to meet people that I don't even know because it was a whole different ball game. Right. And then so I didn't realize during that time that I was building up a huge pipeline that was going to change everything for me. So by the time I got the call for the Globetrotters, like, I had already had like a ton of clients that I was working with, and I had a few things under contract in Texas and Louisiana, and then next thing you know, I get thrown out on the road. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to pray and I'm going to figure it out. And so I just, like, and the one thing that I said to myself is, like, whatever I do, don't lie to them. Like, don't lie. So I would have people that would like, yo, can I see this house? And I'm like, yeah, we can see it. But I'm going to have my partner because I'm tied up at the moment.
Gotcha.
So I never lied to him, although I didn't tell him. I'm like, yeah, I'm in Spain
there
right now.
Yeah,
I can't just hop
there.
on a flight and, be there in 20 minutes. So, like, I did that, but at the end of the day, like, I got the deal done.
Gotcha.
And so people were like, yo, I don't know how you do this.
So honesty.
That's fire. That's dope.
Yeah,
it's all mindset, man. So, like, anything that you really want to do, like, you just got to figure out how you want to do it.
Right.
And go after it.
Okay, so for people who are trying to go get their license, because I know a lot of people, especially in Dallas, that want to be realtors, what are some tips or some things that they must know beforehand? Because a lot of people think it's easy. It's just going to find the house, showing the house and selling the house. I have a friend who was like, you might want to have some money behind you while you're also doing this. So what is something that you would tell people who are looking to be realtors to have or to know before they get into it?
If you're looking to be a realtor, be honest with yourself and don't be a snake. Like, I mean, I deal with people whether it's Texas or Louisiana, like when you get into real estate, like you're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and like you ready to go. And then whenever you start making money, you start to get a little cocky and arrogant and like, whatever. But just know what you want to do. Be honest with yourself. Study. If you're going to take the test, which you have to, like, I would encourage anyone to take the broker's test or study for the broker's test, because whenever you go and take the actual sales test, it's going to be a little bit easier. Okay. So, I mean, for me, the Louisiana test, I failed it 16 times.
Okay.
I failed 16 times, right? And so by the time I passed, and then like 2 months later, I sold my first house. Oh, wow. And then whenever I switched it over to Texas, I took the first test and I passed it.
You was ready. Yeah.
I was prepared.
You were ready for it.
So by that, and I had experience. So if you're going to get into real estate, like, start telling people now, even before you don't have a license. Like, let them know, like, hey, I'm getting into real estate, because you never know. They may say, oh, well, I might be looking for a house in 6 months. And then, all right, well, I'll have my license by that time.
Right.
So you never really know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you got a question?
Yeah, so I know that there's different type of real estate. I've heard, like, I don't know too much of the language, but I know you got wholesaling. You got, what is it called, arbitrary? Something like that?
Arbitrary?
Yeah. So what kind do you do for yourself? And just give a little bit of detail of what you know about the other things.
For me, residential and commercial. Okay. So those are the two, and that's in Texas or Louisiana. Like, it's not that much different. Like, if you know how to do a commercial sale, if you do one, you can do another. Same thing goes with residential. Wholesale, it's, that's, I know how it works, but it's not for me. And so I don't really, dabble in that field. But I think if you really know what you want to do in real estate, then, study it, learn it, and then go after it.
Okay.
Got it.
But for me, it's residential, commercial, apartment leasing, like, all of it.
I see all your posts, and I be like, damn, I want that apartment.
Right? Yeah.
I be like, I want that house.
You be showing some dope ass homes, man.
I be like, damn, I want that house. I want that apartment. Okay, so there's another realm of realty that I can ask about, because obviously at some point I'm gonna want to buy. And for people who are buying, what is something that you would tell them before they start to look?
Be prepared, and don't think that HGTV is what really goes down.
Hold on, but be prepared. But be prepared in what aspect?
Be prepared financially, mentally, hell, even spiritually. Like, you want to be prepared. Yeah. So, I mean, it's more than what everybody watches HGTV, or they may see what goes on. It's like, oh, we bought this house, and now we're going to turn it down and flip it, and now we made just $100,000. No, you didn't. You're lying. Like, that's TV. Like, I'm in the entertainment. Like, I know this all about ratings, and it's all about media. So, like, if you're going to get into real estate, if you're preparing to buy, no matter where you are, like, be prepared. Like, if you're going to pick a realtor, like, listen to them. Like, I mean, you can listen to your parents all you want to, but even with my parents, like, you bought a home 20, 30 years ago, it's nothing like what it is now. So, like, they're going to have their opinion. You're going to have everybody giving you an opinion. Oh, well, I did this, I did that. Like, who cares what they did? I don't care what they did, right? Like, it's you, it's me, and then even after I close that deal, I'm going to still rock with you, because I'm not looking at you like most realtors, not all, but most, that are going to look at you and be like, oh, well, get this house. All right, it's $300,000. All right, now I'm about to give me a nice little check, and then I'm going to send you on your way. You're never going to hear from me again. Like, cool, you got this house. I'm going to check in on you. I'm going to make sure you're straight, because that's called building a relationship. So with your realtor, you want to make sure that you're honest with them. Don't be fake. Just be straight up with you. And that's, like you said, like, even in my post, like, that was a struggle for me, because I didn't know how to blend, like, being myself with real estate. So I'm like, look, I like to be funny. I like to joke around. I like to talk about whatever. So I'm going to just put it all in one. and this is what you get.
I mean, honestly, I watch the posts and I'll be like, God damn, I wish I could get this. Like, it's nice.
Hell, I do too.
I see the views. I see how big the houses are, how nice the fucking house is. I'm like, okay, I like this. So you're reaching the people that you need to reach, you know, and even if I can't get it right now, it is something that I can work towards. You know,
but it's manifestation. Like, it don't care. I don't care if it's a $5 million house. I don't care if it's a $5,000 house. Like, I don't care what it is. Like, if you want to buy something, I'm going to help you. And if you can't afford it at that time, I'm not going to look at you sideways. I'm not going to shun you.
Yeah.
Like, all right, what is the plan that we need to get you on to get you to where you need to be?
So let's get into manifestation, because that's something that me and Ryan are very understanding of. And a lot of people don't believe in it. A lot of people don't do it. What do you think about manifestation, and how do you think people should go about it? Because a lot of people think manifestation is saying, I want this house, and not doing what they're supposed to work to get that house.
Yeah, gotta work for it. You gotta work for it.
You don't just say it and it's supposed to come to you. You're supposed to say it and say, I'm gonna work and do the work that I'm supposed to do to get to that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to manifestation, how would you recommend people manifest the things that they want into their lives?
I think it depends on what works best for you. For me, like, it worked. I wake up, I journal, I read the Bible, I pray, and, you know, and it's all about how you do things. Like, how are you writing out your goals? How are you journaling? How are you praying? Like, what's a vision board look like for you? Like, all of these things. So manifestation comes in so many different ways, or it even comes in reading and listening, or audiobooks. So I think whatever works best for you. For me, at one point, it was writing out sticky notes and putting them all over my mirror at one point, and just looking at it.
What?
Okay.
Come on,
That
bro.
was, like, for me at that one point, when it started not to work, like, all right, what's next? Like, let me look up, you know, quotes, or let me look up what, you know, Instagram, anything like that. And then that didn't start to work. So I'm always trying to figure out how to elevate my manifestation. So, and then for me right now, and for the last, I want to say since 2018, is writing it out.
Right.
Like, I'll write out something, how I'm feeling, or something that's going to affect, like, okay, well, this morning, it's like, you know, it's just remain humble. Like, be humble. And then I write out how I'm feeling, and I write out what is my solution to make myself feel better, or to, you know, improve on that feeling.
Right.
And then I go from there.
But you know what? Maybe those things did work. It just took time.
Yeah, all of it takes time.
So I think that with manifestation, people got to be patient. You got to have faith. And then I think you just got to plan right. Like, you just got to, when you write down what you want, you got to make sure, look, I have faith. I believe in this plan, but it may not happen as quick as I wanted it to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to trust divine timing. You got to trust yourself. And then, like you said, you got to work for it. Like,
people just think you throw it up
you
there and
gotta
it's supposed
work.
to come down.
You have to work. You have to work for it. Like, it's not just going to be given to you. You got to work for it.
All of it is going to take some hard work. I mean, even whenever I started out DJing, like, people thought, like, some people thought, oh, it just happened overnight. And it's like, no, like, I was doing weddings. Like, I was doing, like, my first DJ gig that I ever did, I got so nervous, and I froze up on the microphone, and I couldn't even get through it.
Really?
Yeah. But I had a homeboy that was, like, kind of, you know, mentoring me. Like, and that's real talk. So you mean to tell me that, like, I know what I want. I have these visions of what I want. And this is, 10 years ago. I had visions of, like, picturing myself in, you know, clubs, or picturing myself in large crowds, you know. And this was in Baton Rouge off of, you know, College Drive, and it was a place called Fox and the Hound. And, like, I'm sitting in there like this on it, like, sitting like nothing. Like, but I knew back then what I wanted to do. So you mean to tell me back then, like, I knew it and I manifested it, but I worked. I worked my ass off for it. And, you know, you mean to tell me put me in front of 14,000 people right now.
And you good?
I'm good.
That's
I'm more comfortable around 14,000 people than I am around 5.
That's crazy. And because we're talking about manifestation, was your clothing line ever a part of that? Or did that come about as you became?
It came about as I became.
Okay.
And because at first when it started off, like I always kind of been like a little bit savvy with DJing, but at the same time I was a little bit petty.
Okay.
Too. But there was this club in Baton Rouge that I was the resident for, and it was called City Bar, and it was 2 levels, so there was always 2 DJs.
Okay.
So, and I was a resident for it, and I built up a pretty good platform around there, but I also built up, I think, not necessarily a repetition, but, you know, you got people that want to hate, and they want your spot, so they want to, you know, say this or that, or, you know, they feel some type of way because they feel like they could have it.
Right.
So what I started to do, I had a DJ logo at the time, so I took my DJ logo and I put it on shirts, and then I would just put the bartenders in them. So, and I put the bartenders upstairs,
Oh my gosh.
downstairs, so anytime that the DJ was seeing it, like, they were always seeing me. And they see a pretty girl. So I took that, and then I started off with the wristbands, and then I did that. And then I went as far as to take wristbands, and as for, you know, whenever they tag you, they put them on you, and I had the hashtag DJ Def on everybody's hand.
Oh, you was real petty.
Yeah. So I was taking petty to a whole different level, but I didn't realize, like, oh, okay,
you were getting
like,
exposed.
the shirts is actually working. So I think after, I think I was right on tour or something like that, and I came up, I was like, look, I want to do Don't Ever Accept Failure. And so this is actually my handwriting, right?
Oh, nice.
But a lot of people don't know that. So I took that and I put it on there, but I was still a little bit arrogant that I wanted DJ Def on there. So I put it on the back of the collar. And then somebody told me, it was like, look, you got to take your name off of it. If you want everybody in it, like, you got to, you know, kind of make it a little bit more open, expanded. Right. So I was like, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. So I took my name off of there. And then next thing you know, it's like,
people start wearing
people
it.
want to wear it a lot more. So
that's wild.
And you know what's funny? That's the ego we was talking about earlier, because this ego wanted DJ Def, right? But Don't Ever Accept Failure was for everybody.
Yeah.
That wasn't about himself.
Yeah.
So when you take your ego out of certain things and you do right, when you do what's best for everybody, it has a better chance of taking off than saying, I want this logo, but I want this because this is gonna work with me. Like, nah,
pride,
you do that,
man.
that's all it is. If you take that away, it's gonna work way better. It's gonna work.
How has social media helped to boost your brand?
It's helped, but I think it's also it's helped a lot. But I think it's just being authentic, being honest. Like, I mean, you've seen me before. Like, what you see is what you get. Like, I'm not being any kind of way just for this podcast. Like, this is me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I agree.
Like, I just be myself. I'm always wearing my brand. So, and then people always ask me about it. But social media, it can be a gift and a curse, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that's a true statement, because, I mean, you can go to my social media, you can scroll through, and you can see, oh, he does the quote, he does the house, he posts him, like, all of this stuff. And then you can see some of the people that I've interacted with over the few years. And that could be the curse, because people will look at that and they're like, oh, man, like, oh, he on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then, like, you got the girls that are like, oh, sliding in a DM, like, or you got, you know, some people, like, I don't care, it could be guys, girls, like, they're gonna shoot their shot, bro? Yeah. I'm good.
You doing your thing.
Yeah, keep it moving. But I wish you nothing but the best. But I mean, social media is what you make of it. So I always do my best to try and, like, I don't want to put out there something that I'm not. So everything that you see is exactly who I am. Like, I'm in real estate. I like to post something, a quote that is going to not only help me, but hopefully it can help somebody else. And, you know, I post a personal picture of me or something that may be going on.
So you market yourself, but also you want to stay true to who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
always stay true.
I'm going to say that so it don't sound as creepy, because I mean, you put it out there for us to have it. So when he posts his Bible, like his Bible scriptures or like stuff that he's reading, it's a couple that have helped me. And I'm pretty sure I've reached out and asked about a specific Bible quote at some point, but it's something that's helped me. And even though people may not say, and this is what I'm learning about social media, is even though people may not say anything about what you post or what you do, somebody is always looking.
Always watching.
Somebody's always watching, and somebody is taking that information that you're putting out there and using that for their lives. Like, so what I'm saying is don't stop.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, what I'm saying is don't stop, because we may not say anything about it.
No, and you know, I appreciate it, and I'm grateful to hear things like that, because I know it was January 4th of this year is whenever I first started posting Bible scriptures, and I started I was like, I'm gonna just post it, like, not thinking nothing of it. But then over time, like, I think I had missed one day and somebody was like, yo, where's it at? And I'm like, oh, like,
you pay attention.
Yeah, and I didn't realize, but like, I've had people reach out and they was like, yo, like, what does this mean? Or, you know, keep doing this. Or even like one of my homeboys, he reached out and he was like, yo, what Bible are you in? Like, what kind of Bible are you studying? And I'm more than happy to always share that kind of stuff. Because it's like you said, it's whenever you, like, I'm in an industry where ego is really big.
Yeah.
So like
everybody want to be the best.
Everybody wants to be the best. But like I'm like, man, like, you could put me in a room with a few different people, right? And I'm probably gonna be one of the quietest ones. But everybody's going, you know, I did this, I did that, and I'm like, that's what's up. Like, I'm loving to hear all of this. But then whenever it gets to me, it's like, you know, I do a couple of things and like I kind of beat around the bush, but like I don't want people to take that as an ego, because once you say that, oh yeah, I'm a dual licensed real estate agent. I own 14 acres of land out of 200 acres in my family. Oh, I also have you know, a clothing brand. You know, I'm also a DJ. I also got, you know, all of these things, and then people start to look.
And I'm gonna say talk your shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say talk your shit.
Yeah. So
that's what I'm gonna say. Talk your shit.
Yeah.
And then like people are like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And then they look at you different, and it's like, man, like, know who I am first. Like, know me as a person before you know my accolades.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I care about.
That's amazing, though.
As you should.
I'm gonna just speak from experience on how I met him. We was at a party. It's at a party. I don't know.
It's always at a party. It's always at a motherfucking party.
I don't even know. I would say a get together. I would say a get together, because I feel like that's more of a get together type atmosphere. So we were at a get together, and like, he was so cool. He was just chilling around the pool, playing a little music or whatever, and he was easy to talk to. I would have never known that you had all of the things that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew you were a DJ because E was like, you know, my friend that's a DJ gonna come through and bring his speaker. And so, you know what I mean?
Sound about right.
Yeah, he gonna bring his speaker. It's gonna be da-da-da-da. And so I'm like, cool, like, it's whatever. But as you're talking to him, you realize he's really down to earth, really smart, really intelligent, and you would never know that he had all of these things behind him. And I respect you for that. I definitely respect you for that, and I have always respected you for that.
You know, E talk about it more than I do.
I know he do.
And E is my guy. Like, E is my guy. Him, everything that he's doing, Creole Society, all of that. Like, I'm so proud of everything that he's done. But even whenever I came to Dallas, like, he put me on with welcome arms, like, yo, like, I'm gonna do this. Like, you know how he is.
I'm telling you, he straight up was like, yeah, my homeboy gonna come through. He a DJ. He gonna bring his speaker, his big ass speaker. It's gonna be lit back here.
And like, he always does that. Like, he's quick to tell somebody, man, y'all don't know who this is. Like, and I'm like, man, come on. Like,
and you know, the crazy thing about that is that when you have good intentions, like we were saying earlier, when you have good intentions, you don't have to say nothing. Your energy is going to draw the right people in. Say you got a group of 5 women over here, but you got a group of 2 women over here. These 2 women over here got great intentions. These 5 women just want some shit that you not even fucking with.
I just want to be around.
Right. But you attract these 2 women. They talk to you, but then through them, you have a bigger, you know what I'm saying? Something else happens. Like, say she's one of the 2 women, and she invites you on the podcast, and this podcast, not that you need it, but it just helps with something. You know.
Yeah, and whether it helped, and that's why I'm, like I said, like, I'm always open to, you know, connect and help and be helped and, you know, share my story. Like, one thing about me is I'm extremely vulnerable. Okay. Like, and like, I'm okay with sharing any part of my story of what's helped me or what I've gone through and where I'm at now. But like, even with that, like, I know how it is. Like, I've had, you know, plenty of girls. Like, I mean, I've had more girls than I don't have a count. Like, but I mean, I'm saying,
now, let me say some shit like that. Y'all would be like, damn, ho.
Yeah, like, and you know, it's and I don't know, people, there's this double-edged sword. Like, you know, guys are looked at as, oh man, you the man, and then girls are looked down upon. Like, I mean, even my own sisters have told me, yo, you a hoe out here. Like, you, like, full out. And like, fun fact, I got 16 sisters. Dang. Like, and that's real talk. So, yeah.
Are you the only boy?
I'm the youngest boy.
Okay.
16. Who was fucking? Was it the mama or daddy?
Dad was getting it in.
Dad was fucking damn.
Dad was getting it in, and I guess the apple don't fall too far from the tree. But you know,
16. We ain't hear that since the 1960s.
I wish I had that many.
That'd be dope though, for real.
It would. I wish I had that many. That's a big ass like family reunion. Just your siblings. Like that's good.
So. I mean, I've had my fun, but like I can tell when you're trying to talk to me for me, or you're trying to talk to me because of what it seems like that I have. Yeah. And we live in a world now. It's like, oh, what's your Instagram? Let me pull it up.
Let me see how many followers.
As soon as they see the Instagram,
as soon as they see the number, man. Like as soon as they see the number, and what people don't understand, man, it's like it's not about the number, because I've been in rooms with people and like. Where I've seen women like literally talk down or like not give somebody the attention. And it's like, you don't even understand that the person that you're not giving attention is the person that owns the building. But yet you want to give the person that is driving the person that owns the building. You want to give the driver all the play because it looks because better. He's the talker.
That's crazy, right?
He's the face of it.
But that's good, because that goes back to what I was saying was intention. They have good intention. Some of these people don't have good intention. Yeah. So it's good that you don't attract them, but the people you do attract, it'll work well in both of y'all favor in a sense.
You got to always keep your head on a swivel and just really just be like, see it for what it is. Some people like guys, girls like that, not going to like it. Yeah. Like, who cares?
It's, I mean, being a woman is like that. Like, you want to figure out who can get you where you want to go. Not me, necessarily, because I mess with some of the weakest niggas. But, but honestly, it's a thing. Like, women get dressed up, they go out, they try to find these men that's going to change their lives so they can do all this stuff that they do. So how do you keep yourself grounded away from that? Because I'm sure you attract very decent women. How do you know who's for you and who's there for what they think you have?
Just ask. Honestly, like, just ask. I've been all around the world. I have no problem asking, like, whatsoever. And I think for some women, it kind of throws them off because they've never met a man that is going to be just transparent
and forward.
Other than like, yo, like, what you on tonight? Like, yeah, because I've been that guy. You coming through or not? Yeah. Like, what's the deal? Like, I've been that guy before. So, like, to be in a whole different space, like, I've had women that, you know, truly try and get to know you. And then I've had women that want to get to know you just because, oh, well, can you put me on or whatever. It's like, man, like, I'm not trying to do all of that. Like, you got substance? Like,
what can you bring?
Yeah, what can you bring other than a pretty picture on Instagram? You know what I mean?
So they can be relationship goals.
Yeah. Like, I don't care anything about your social media and how good you look and what you put out here, because there's a lot of dogs out here and I know them. Like, exactly. And there ain't like, and I don't hate or nothing. I'm not a judge. Like, man, I done been there. So like, if I wanted to, like, I could do that.
Yeah.
Like, very, very easy.
I know we're in the year where we're dealing with a lot of racial injustice issues. And me and DJ Def had a run-in with a type of racial issue. And as a black man, I am very protective. And I've learned this about myself over the last couple of years. So at a little get-together or whatever, I don't know the basis of what happened before this. I just know what happened as I walked up. So as I'm walking up, I see a white lady crying and under a cabana. I see him trying to, like, talk to her and, like, you know, having a very mild, not intense conversation. There's no attitude. It's very humble. And I'm just like, what's up? And I see two black women sitting around just like looking confused. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Like, I don't understand. Why is she crying? Like, why is he talking so soft? like what's happening? And I just felt so compelled to take up for him because I knew all of the racial shit that has been going on this year. And the lady basically said something. I told him, like, stop explaining yourself. Like, whatever you're doing, stop explaining yourself. And I looked at her and I said, why are you crying? And she was like, something about I could tell he treats women wrong, or it was something along those lines. And I was like, do you know him? And she was like, no. I said, so how can you sit up here and say, like, you could look at him and tell, or you could just see that he treats women wrong? And she just got quiet. She ain't say shit. She just got the fuck up and walked away. Now, the thing that killed me was she was drinking our liquor, smoking our hookah. She was drinking the liquor, smoking the hookah, but you over here with a man that you feel like whatever. So how have you handled, like, being a black man and doing all the things that you want to do?
Always remembering that no matter where I go, I'm a black man. Mm-hmm. That's the rule number one. And my dad told me that a long time ago. My dad, he's Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, like all those guys, like, you know, he was around that era. So, but one thing he always told me is, like, no matter where you go in this world, always know that you are a black man. So it took time for me to really understand that, because when we moved to Louisiana, like, I was the only black kid that grew up in, you know, elementary school for a long time. So I was taken away from culture and put into just a one-sided culture for a long time. Right. And then by the time I was in 7th grade, like, black students they were like, oh, you know, where's he from? Like, he's not one of us, you know what I mean? So I struggled with, you know, both sides. And it's like, yo, I'm me. Like, this is who I am. Like, I don't try and talk like, you know, one side or this side or anything like that, or what y'all may think. And I think it took until like 11th grade to where, like, everyone was like, oh, he's not trying to talk white. He's not trying to talk black. That's just who he is. Yeah. This is how he talks. We obviously know he's not from here. But, you know, throughout the years, you know, I saw both sides of it. I saw how, you know, white people view things. I saw how black people view things. I saw how I view things. And, you know, at the end of the day, is always know that you're a black man. Because in America, like, you know, we get killed for nothing. Yeah. Like, I mean, we get thrown in jail for nothing. I've been thrown in jail for nothing, like, at all. Like, I've been to jail and had to go to court because someone said that I threw a bottle at her. Yeah, I've had to deal with that and had to improve myself to be right.
Innocent. Yeah, to be innocent.
So
it was just something about that day. Like, I went into, like, damn near mama mode. Like, it just happened. And I was like, nah, like, with the shit we going through right now, like, we not doing this. And I had to pull him to the side, like, stop explaining yourself. I come up and she's literally crying and everybody trying to figure out why this woman, like, everybody basically trying to figure out why she's crying and nobody is trying to figure out why this woman. Yeah.
She's a white woman, and she's no. I mean, and this just being honest, like, she's a white woman surrounded by black people. Yeah, and it could have been me or any guy at that party, but I was there because I wasn't getting in the pool. Yeah, but, like, I was just there, and she just broke down, and then I think, and what she was trying to do is she was trying to, like, explain herself or saying how, like, oh, you know, men always do things wrong, or they always screwing women over and all of this stuff. And I'm like, you don't even know me.
That was what I was most confused about. I was like, do you know him? I was like, do you know him? And that was my first day meeting him. I probably had only been out there meeting him for like an hour or two. So I was starting to get a little irritated because, you know, when I get mad sometimes, like, I don't know, I'll try and, like I said, I can be petty if I want to, but I'm gonna be, you know, legally petty, and I'm gonna do it in a way to kind of brand. Yeah. But back then, but nah, it's different now. But for her, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if you were even attractive
to me and I wanted you around me, I could change your life. That was my mindset at the time. It was like, and you know what I was about, what I was saying at the time. I'm like, you don't even know me.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm thinking, and that's why I was saying, I was like, I could change your life.
Yeah.
I could give you an experience, but nah.
I'll tell Ryan, you got anything else?
So we got.
Okay, so let's do because I'm a brag for you. You ain't got to brag for you. I'm a brag for you. So we got
realtor.
Realtor.
We got the clothing line.
Clothing line.
DJ. So for you, what's been your most rewarding experience? Not just out of those three, but like, what's the most rewarding thing for you?
That's happened.
What's most rewarding for you?
When my mom and my dad looked me in the eyes crying, saying that they were proud of me.
That's dope.
Oh my God.
That's dope.
That would probably be like
yes.
my number one. But you know, it's like when I think back, because I have to reflect on a lot of things that I've done. So like LSU, right? I'm the first Black DJ for LSU athletics.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow.
Like, I was the first Black DJ. I'm not just the DJ, the first ever DJ, but that also happened to be Black. Like, I did that. I don't care, but like, it didn't look like a big deal to me at that time, but I did it. And then, you know, I got on the radio, like one of the biggest clubs in, you know, Baton Rouge or, you know, Lafayette. Like, I was the face of those, you know, of those clubs. Didn't look like a big deal to me. I did the Globetrotters. Like, even that still didn't look like a big deal to me. But whenever I look back at a lot of things, it's like, even being in a room with 50 Cent, and like being in rooms with people like that, and it's like it didn't seem like a big deal to me. But now, whenever I look at it, and you know, as I've grown as a man and as a businessman, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call me, like, I look back and it's like, you know, I'm been one fortunate guy.
Yes,
like one
absolutely.
very fortunate person.
Blessed and highly favored.
Yeah, and so it's like it comes down to just having faith and manifestation, and you know, always putting God first. And like, I don't pray like, oh dear Lord, like, please let me get this opportunity. It's like, nah, dear Lord, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for, you know, the millions that you're gonna put in my bank account that I still don't see yet. But I know they're coming.
Yes.
Like, it's like, that's how I want to think. And that's how I want to put it out there. And like, and that's why I'm so like appreciative, and like, I'm not gonna walk down the street and be like, yo, you know who I am? And like, I don't care about that. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with it, because if I'm doing that, then I ain't being me.
Yeah.
But like, I'm very blessed and fortunate for every single day, because to come from, like I said, living out of making the decision to, you know, live in a Motel 6 and to traveling the world and doing what I love to do. And like, the simplicity of it is like, I get paid to play music. Like, I get paid to play music. I get paid to, you know, rock with different artists. I get paid to build relationships. I get paid to open a door for somebody that wants to buy a house.
Yes.
Like, think about that.
And to be that joy
That's
for
deep.
them.
Yeah.
That's deep.
To be that joy, to see, and that probably has to be like one of the best parts of the selling of helps to see the joy on their faces, that you letting them know, like, I help to give you that smile.
Yeah. It's like, all right, cool. Like, I know I'm going to make money, but like, all right, yeah, we all going to make money. Like, I want everybody to make money. But it's like, when I see a single mother, which is a true story, a single mother of 4, and she's purchasing her first home, and she did it with me, and I helped her do that.
That's fire.
And that is what makes it all worthwhile. Or the one that I just, you know, recently put under contract, that, you know, we had to get like literally, like, she was approved, and she couldn't find anything here because she's coming from Louisiana, because it's a whole different animal here in Texas. And so I'm like, trust me, let's try this one last shot. And the one last shot, you know, we doubled our purchase price, and she's building a brand new home, single, on her own.
Wow.
And it's from the ground up. Like, and I'm sending her pictures of the home. Like, this is your home. This is your dirt.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's
Picture
crazy.
your home.
Yeah.
And I'm over here picturing it like it's my shit. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's inspiring.
I'm over here picturing it like it's mine. Like that got to be an amazing ass feeling right there.
It's the best feeling in the world because, like, I mean, all of the glitz and the glamour and all of that stuff, man, like, it's all show. Like, I've been a part of it and I'll still continue to be. But, like, when you can truly get down to the core of, like, who you are and what you want to do, and, like, for me is I love helping people. I love making people laugh. I love, making people dance. Like, even though I can't dance worth a shit.
I went to one Harlem Globetrotters game. I'll never forget in Chicago when I was younger, and I was like, down,
I'm saying,
do your dance.
and that's the thing. It's like, even with the Globetrotter shows, like, I took a huge risk. Like, going from, we want to do this certain type of format, and it's like, nah, man, we about to play this Young Dolph.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm playing 100 shots. But people look at you crazy until they see that it works.
I was about to ask a question. Go ahead, because if you ask my question, I'm going to be mad.
I gotta pee.
Oh, Ryan.
But see, it's all genuine and authentic.
Yes, and I'm going to let him go, and I'm going to just keep it going because I'm going to let him go. What is your go-to song to play? If you if you playing at a club or a party, what's your go-to song to play?
I'm a Louisiana cat, so it's like I'm going back to the 99 and the 2000.
Really?
So
okay.
It's like, if you like, but it's like, and that's how I think with DJing. It's like, it's psychology. It's like, it's not about the people on the dance floor, right? Because if they're on the dance floor, they're on the dance floor because they want to dance.
Right.
Like, they're on there for a reason. They may just want to be seen because that's where that's the place.
Yeah.
But then you got the people in the sections, and you got the people that are on the walls. You got the people that are the bartenders. You got the club owners, the managers, and all of that.
Okay.
So, like, something that was really, like, broken down to me early in my career was, it doesn't matter about who's on the dance floor. Like, look at people that are up against the wall or that are singing the song. Look at the people that are sitting down. Look and see if they're tapping their foot.
Okay.
Look at the body language. Don't just look at the people that's dancing on the floor. Like, look, they could be doing this. It could be so many different things. And if you see movement, and if you see the energy of your bartenders, or if you see the people that are working, like, all of that, if you see that energy all working out and vibing well,
you're doing a great job.
You're doing your thing.
Have you ever had an experience that you were like, oh shit, it's not working?
Yes.
Okay.
Plenty of times.
Do you find that this is more of a specific type of event?
No. I think so. I started off with weddings. Like, okay. I started off with weddings. So when that whole different format for me, it was like, okay, strictly clean music, and you gotta, depending on the wedding, it's like, it could be country, it could be rap, it could be whatever it could be. Like, you gotta find that median. So I started off with that, and based off of how I grew up around a whole bunch of different types of music.
Okay.
So I put all of that together. And I was like, man, I wonder how this Miley Cyrus song sounds with a Juvenile song.
Really?
Or I wonder how this, country song sounds with a rap song. Like, but then also looking at some of the people that inspired me. And so I knew all of that. And I was like, man, like, I'm going to just try it. And so that's what I did. And that's what set me apart in Baton Rouge, because Baton Rouge is very, very urban style music, like rap, Boosie. Like hard Boosie, like everybody knows Boosie. Yeah. Like, I mean, you got Boosie, Webby, like there's so many different artists other than them. Like, I mean, yeah, the Young Boys, and like, but there's other artists that I could go down the list that people like, listen to. Like those are my people. But like, I took that and I was like, I'm gonna put it all in one gumbo pot, and I'm gonna just roll with it.
And they're like, well, whose song is that? Like, what music is that? And they try to figure out what that is.
And that's all I did. But like, just listening and taking chances, and just working with different people, or like, I'll never forget, like 2018, like I come home and like I got a package, like, because taste. the Tiger. Like I like, yo, we need you to work this record. And
nice.
All right, whatever, I don't care. Like I'm working it, not even realizing like, yo, like we really working.
People want you to play their music. Like they want you to play their music. Have you ever thought about like being a producer or anything like that?
I've worked on a few different projects.
Nice.
So, yeah, I've worked on a few.
Okay.
So they hang on the wall.
Any that you care to talk about?
I mean, I've been fortunate to be a part of Taste.
Okay. Okay.
I've been fortunate to be a part of Cardi.
Okay.
Cardi B.
Nice.
I've been fortunate to be a part of, one of my good dude, Louisiana Cash.
Okay.
That is my brother, man. Like I love that dude. And for him, like he's got the song for LSU, right? And it's called Bitch, I'm from Louisiana. Like that's literally what it's called. And like and he's from Grambling.
Okay.
And so when he came out with the record, I this was homecoming a few years back, and I go back down to Baton Rouge around Halloween, and I'm playing it, and like nobody's moving. But I played it at this Kappa Sig party, full white fraternity, like everybody going crazy, and like I'm playing it because right before like Gorilla Zoe was about to come out, and so I play it. I take my hoodie off, and I got his shirt on, and I'm feeling it, and nobody moves. But I had like 2 or 3 different people come up and I'm like, man, what is this? And I'm like, yo, this is what it is. Look him up. And then next thing you know, over time, I'm at an LSU game the next year, and the first song I hear is "Bitch, I'm from Louisiana."
Damn.
And I call and I'm like, yo, like you see this? Like I'm shaking.
Bro.
And he's like, yeah, like they called me. I don't know what happened, but Super Mike did. And I'm like, bruh, like we did that. Like we did that. So from Grambling, Louisiana, from Grambling, a HBCU town, and you playing in LSU, you got people that will ride and die for LSU, but they won't even look at Grambling.
Right.
But yet they singing a product of Grambling.
Right.
Yeah, get your priorities straight. You know what I mean?
That's fucking crazy.
Like that's how it is. And so it's like that is what, I enjoy. It's
That's
like,
beautiful. I just love talking to him. I'm not gonna lie. Like the first time I met him, I was just like I love you. Like, like for real. Like it's the personality. It's the being able to be humble and just being him. And I'm a very, I think, good person, so I can pick out other good people. So I'm just it's laws of attraction. Yeah, that's all it is. It's like I mean the energy and all of that. Like it's just like who was it? Will Smith. He said like the universe has a way of working out for you. So it'll get out your way. That's intense. I love it.
So on the outside looking in, for people who aren't aware of everything that you do, what is something, say like DJing, right? I'm not someone who does DJ, or I'm not musically inclined. What is something that we aren't aware of that goes into it, or like the misconception of things?
Practice. It's practice. It's not just like you got DJs all over. Like I'm not saying just Dallas or nothing. Like you got DJs all over that they just want it for the clout. They want it for the to get their Instagram popping. It takes practice. Like I mean, hardcore.
Sitting in the crib by yourself playing music.
Like figuring it out. Like if it don't work, it don't work. Like you gotta focus on it. You gotta study it. You gotta listen. You gotta staying on top of the game. Like a lot of that. But like it takes a lot of hard work. It's not one of these, let me just go get one of these controllers and then I'm a DJ now. It's like
the first time I saw somebody DJ with the Mac and stuff, and I'm like, what's these numbers and this like wheel and all this shit? They like, you got to keep it up with the beats per minute. If this don't match this song, it's not gonna mix. I'm like, that sounds like a lot. That sounds like a lot. Like,
and it's different markets too. It's like it's understanding different markets. Like I've DJ'd in New York, and it's like, you got to be in and out of something. Like you may get a verse. Yeah. Like that's it. Like Chicago is the same thing. Like
we like everything sped up.
You gotta adjust and like so like if you're gonna be a DJ, like no, like, don't just try and be a DJ for your city. Like,
World
think
renowned.
about it, like, globally, you know what I mean? Like, think about it like, all right, well, if I'm in California right now, like, what am I going to do? Like, or if I'm, like, the Lakers just won, like, you know, I was out that night. Like, I damn near cried whenever I saw that because I'm a Lakers fan, you know? But it's like, and he goes into a West Coast set for a minute. Like, I respect that. But it's like, don't just think like you just playing music and then, oh, you know, I'm gonna take you here and, you know, and then play another song. Like, have some structure with it. Like, you know, figure it out. Like, work on it.
Yeah,
that's
so
it.
I'm so thankful to know you. I'm thankful to have met somebody like you that is a jack of all trades, is what I'm gonna say. And we're happy that you were able to come on the podcast.
Always.
I'll be reaching out real late to people. So and then actually making time for us, so we appreciate it. Is there anything that you want to go ahead and plug? Website, Instagram, anything like that?
You can always find me. My handle is DJ_Def, DEAF. Don't ever accept failure, because I live by it, stand by it, and I always hope everyone can do the same. The website for the clothing brand is defclothing.com. Got a lot of good stuff that's on there.
I want them socks.
Yeah, the socks are finally in. And we got a lot of good things that are coming soon. And we're working with a few different, you know, big endeavors, I would say, that I'm excited about.
Okay.
And I'm thankful for everybody that, you know, even goes to the site, whether you buy something or not. As long as you look at it, cool. But it's not about me. Like, none of this is about me anymore. Like, it's like, I am who I am, and I know what I want to do. But if what I'm doing is going to help somebody else, then
you want to do that.
That's what it is.
Yes, I love it. All right, Rob.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up.
We can wrap it up.
I'm going to let you wrap it up.
No.
Wrap it up.
No.
You said no. I thought you said oh.
No.
All right. Well, thank y'all for another episode of Unsolicited Opinions. You can follow us on Instagram at unsolicited_opinions20. I always fuck that up. So if that's wrong, I apologize. But we're so happy to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to be out.
Thank you.
Thank you.